Hello, fellow Novians, and welcome to another. Now it's time for something different. Hello, fellow Novians. My name is Rob, and welcome to this in what is the first episode of my review series. So today we're over here at the Chimera Shipworks showroom, and we're going to be looking at the Ixion starter hauler, which is one of my designs. I figured might as well start off with something I'm familiar with, and hopefully we can get some other designers on here as we progress. But first, let me show you a little bit about the Shipworks showroom here. If you VR over, you can just search for Chimera, and it'll be called Chimera Shipworks Showroom in VR. I'll also post the location of the showroom in the description. So if you just want to copy paste that into your game, then you can use that as a waypoint. But the first thing you'll see is this this area when you first VR over or you enter, just like we entered just a second ago. Obviously, do not buy BPs in VR. Very important. So right now we only have 3 floors. We have the medium core ships, the small core ships, and right now we're going to go up to the extra small core ships room, which is a little higher than the elevators can handle right now. So it has a double elevator, so you go up and then you end up in this room which just says go up, and here we are. So the Ixion has 2 varieties, which is the warp shuttle and the starter ship, and today we're going to be looking at the starter ship. So let's go ahead and take a look. She is using flat hover engines because those are cheap for starter players, and it doesn't require you to have an extra fuel tank for vertical boosters with space fuel. We got 2 large uncommon military atmospherics, and we've got 2 medium atmospheric military engines on the side here. Plenty of wings for lift, some landing gear, some stabilizers, a bit of brakes, and the adjusters are kind of hidden under the voxel here. You can see them kind of sticking out. They work just fine that way. And then you have some on the bottom and the top. Line of medium brakes. There's a line of small brakes, just because I kind of wanted like an interesting look on the top of the nacelle here. And then we have the 2 large brakes on top, which are pretty much giving you most of your braking force. There is a radar here, and the core is right here on top too, so you can link to it very easily, or come up here and just click on it and add other people to the construct if you're working in a group and you want other people to fly it. We do have a couple lights on the front, and those are all linked to the seat. So as soon as you get in the seat, those lights will click on, and when you get out of the seat, they turn off. For display purposes on the showroom floor, they are on right now. But if we go underneath the bottom here, there is a hatch, and you can just jump up and you're inside. We've got a res node in here for your mining or dyeing activities. We've got 2 atmospheric fuel tanks, which have the engine split in half. So the 2 port side engines are on this tank, and the 2 starboard side engines are on that tank. We have the programming board for DU damage, and we have the seat, which is running DU orbital right now. But we can put anything on here, whatever you want. You can just pull the seat and put it back and put your own scripting in there. But right now it is scripted to basically turn this button on, which controls the lights on the front of the ship. So that's how that works, right? And you can just close the hatch, jump in. You got a nice view here, and we will continue this at the one outside. And don't forget, we've got wood floors here in the showroom, which means we are super classy. Yeah. The price of this is $250,000 for the blueprint and $1.5 million for the token. Which is pretty cheap. It can haul up to 800 tons, tested. Can it get more? Maybe, but it's only been tested at 800 with minimal skills. So if you've got like maximum skills, you probably won't be buying this ship because it's meant for starters. But hey, if you want an 800-ton hauler, come on over. But if you're a starter player and you're looking for a ship past your like first weird hauler, and you kind of want a ship that has some style to it, this is a good very first starter ship. And if you want to pause the video and look at the stats here, you can do that too. All right. Alternatively, you can build a ship out of parts. So if we go down a floor, we have this thing, which is just parts and some voxel. But this thing can carry a lot more. It's not that pretty. The claim jumper is also 1.5 million token. She is a small core ship, but is a workhorse. This thing has gotten many an org mate here started in the game. So 2 choices there. But let's go back outside and we'll hop in the ship and take her for a flight. All right, so let's hop in this seat here. All right, you can see we've got the orbital all set up here. You can see the screens are down here for damage report that are visible from the pilot seat. You can also turn your head and deactivate or reactivate the board if you need to do that. So everything is pretty much accessible from the pilot seat. We got this nice view. You can see the ground here. You can see up to the top of the building. So it's pretty nice in first person. But if we go out to third person, we can take a look around the ship here. We'll just go ahead and get her in the air. And I'll show you how fast this thing gets up and goes. So let's take the brakes. The big brakes aren't on. We'll just throttle up here. And she gets moving pretty much right away. The token version does have tier 5 engines and everything else boosted to tier 4. Including the full fuel tanks and the storage is all tier 4 boosts. So that couldn't be very helpful to a new or starting player. Like I said, this thing gets up and goes. I do have the limiter on, so let's go ahead and put it in cruise control, but I'll show you this thing will hit burn speed pretty quickly. Let's say 1300, right? Yep, 1300, no problem. But this is empty. Obviously, when you put some weight in here, it's going to have some issues. Let's do 1400. Oh, there we go. We're getting some burning. But we are at 1400 kilometers per hour. So like I said, this thing gets going. So it'll do 1400 safely. If you want to push it past that and break some components, it'll probably go past that. Let's see. I got some scrap. I can repair things. Let's try 1500. Oh yeah, 1500, no problemo. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to go, whoop, there, something broke. So yeah. So 1500, kind of problemo. But 1300, fine. Let's look at the vectors here. Right? This thing turns, yaws, whatever you want, right? You can do like a almost full yaw. and it will catch up pretty quick. Yep. And again, this thing does not have any weight on it, so once you have the 800-ton cargo capacity, it does get a little bit. You just have to fly safer. That's all right. All right. So let's look at the long distance vector line here. It catches up pretty quick. You can see that it's catching up pretty quick as they turn. If we do a roll turn, it stays right with the ship. So this thing is super maneuverable. Again, this is atmospheric only, so don't go into space with it. But it's a nice little ship to spawn on your bases, like if you have a base on Sakari and you just want a ship to fly around and mine, or you want to dock it to your medium haulers. I will say that right now, until they update the docking box, however they're going to do that in the next patch, you want to remove the landing gear in order to get it to sit right. I have docked this to my medium core ships, and that is how we solved that. We just got rid of the landing gear, slapped it on top of the ship, and it stuck there pretty good. Didn't cause any problems. And I found that with most ships, you just have to remove the landing gear, and they sit pretty well. So something to keep in mind there if you having docking problems with a small core or an extra small core to a medium ship. Sometimes you just got to take off the landing gear. But hopefully they'll fix that. They did show a video at the last patch that had a ship landing on a small ship landing on a carrier in space, and it stuck there without having to get all creative and smack the thing into the ground with your maneuver tool. All right, so let's head back to base. I will load this thing up with some cargo, and we'll take a look at how it handles with 800 tons on it. All right, my friends, we have this loaded up with 159 kiloliters of hematite. We are at 802 tons. This thing with hematite in it maxes out at 900 tons. So you can do a little bit more than 800, but I wouldn't. Again, unless you have those big time skills. What did we destroy down there? Oh, a couple adjusters. One adjuster and a headlight. Oh, no. I'll have to fix that later, but let's take a look. We'll go into third person. If I hit lift, it takes off a little slow, but that's no problem. She gets altitude, and we're just going to go and point towards the water here. Spool. Whoop. Yep, like I said, when she's full, she whoop. You gotta do your adjustments a little slower. Okay, let's spool up the engines. Just hold the brake here so they get to warm up a little bit quicker. And we are off the ground and going. So that is with 800 tons of hematite, which is heavy, heavy stuff if you know your hematite. And I know my hematite, if you know what I'm saying. I actually don't know what that means. But anyway, it takes a little bit of time for her to hit max speed under load, but she will get up there. So you can see the speed is climbing. If you want to get up there a little bit faster, you can do a little bit of a nosedive maneuver, point towards the ground, get some more speed, yeah, and then pull up. And hopefully not slam into the ground. Okay, well, that happened. All right, take two here. We're back after fixing the ship up. Whoop. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. So it is a quick fix. Didn't take too long. but it is a good indication. Just don't be like me. Don't do stupid things with a full load of weight. Anyway, back in the air. Here we go. Takes off just nicely. Let's get those little vector marks up. You can see that nose climbing very quickly. So other things not to do in this, including don't dive at the ground with a full load of hematite because it's heavy, and don't yaw. If you yaw, you can do it very slowly, but you see how slow it is to catch back up. If you try to do like a full, like say I want to go over there, if I try to do like a full yaw towards that direction, the ship's going to lose stability and fall out of the sky. And that's with any ship that's like fully loaded, full weight. So we'll go ahead and do a roll turn. You can see it's a bit slow to keep up there, but we're fine. Whee! Flying sideways. Yay. So yeah, it'll do 800 tons. You just have to fly relatively carefully, right? Don't do crazy maneuvers. Don't try to be like a fighter pilot. You know, nice shallow turns. And obviously, if you were to fill it with something less heavy, like coal or bauxite, you wouldn't have so much of a control issue. But hematite is very heavy. And if you're just starting out, maybe you want to limit your weight to like 600 tons until you get the hang of it or you get the feel for it. Like I said, 800 tons is the maximum here. And you just want to watch out, right? So, not too bad. And as always, if you're a very bad pilot, you can just land the ship, turn it towards the direction that you want to go, and that works too. But hopefully you don't need to do that. It's not that hard to just, do a roll turn and watch your altitude there. If it starts falling really quickly, you level out. Whoop, and just make sure you don't roll over, obviously, right? So there's the showroom down there. Oh, yeah. With the very handy radar, right? You can see everything. One of my favorite things to do. Anyway, we're starting to fall. So let me level off here. And we'll just go ahead and do a brake landing. Let's get this thing back to base in one piece, then I'm going to have to go get my other ship back and try to repair that. Anyway, any landing you can walk away from, right? Am I right? But nothing blew up, so it's a successful landing. So anyway, like I said, this thing will handle 800 tons at max. Maybe you don't want to carry that much. Maybe you want to limit it to a little bit less just to be safe. But she will get you where you're going, and as long as you don't do a nosedive into the ground, you should be fine. But at 1.2 million, it's not a bad price, right? I think it's pretty much right on price point for how much this ship costs. But I think it's important for new players to have a good ship that they can just grab and use as either a market runner or as a small time hauler until they can move up to, a medium core or something like that, or build their own. So that is my video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this first in the review series, and hopefully there'll be many more to come. If you'd like your ship reviewed, you can go ahead and hit me up on Discord. I will be more than happy to take a look, hop in, and try not to crash it. Yeah, if I do, I promise to repair it. That's all I can say. I promise I will repair your ship, and I will not bring it back destroyed. And I will fly it with a little bit more or less of a reckless abandon, like I did with this ship, just because I kind of know the limits of this thing, but apparently not, because I did slam it in the ground. So good point, case in point, whatever. But yeah, contact me on Discord. Leave a comment in the comment section if you like this and you like to see some more. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for further videos, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I drop a new video. Until next time, I will see you out there in space. Stay safe.